2:10 to play, first quarter. Kiski with the basketball. They trail by 2. Schaefer. Rebound to Mike Owens.
Oh, boy.
Michael's got a 3-on-1 fast break. He dishes off. And score by Sean Hodge. 14-10, a 14-point lead for Carlisle, the defending state champions. Petrarca hesitated once, so the second time he went straight up and canned it. 14-12. Billy Owens from 15 feet. 16-12. 1:04 to play in the first quarter. Sean Hodge guarding Petrarca. Missed that time by Petrosky. And with 42 seconds, the ball goes to Hodge. Gets it back out to Billy. Owens with the miss. And a foul over the back is the call on Garrett Palmer, the 6'3 junior.
Carlisle trying to establish a tempo. They're pushing the ball up the floor very quickly in almost all situations, even after made field goals and made free throws. Defensively, they're playing a zone, and it's a pretty aggressive zone. The guards will come out. They'll pressure the ball. They do not want Petrarca to shoot uncontested jump shots from anywhere on the floor. So the guards particularly play this zone very aggressively. And you even see the back line up kind of high as the seconds wane, and it looks like Kiski will hold for the final shot. Down to 11 right now.
From way out. Boy, that's a nice-looking shot, isn't it? Tony Petrarca.
1 second.
No bucket. 16-14 is the way the first quarter ends. We've got it dandy from Hershey. Carlisle up by 2 in the Quad A state championship game. Tom Casey and I'll be right back.
A seatbelt just like this saved my life when I was involved in a serious head-on automobile crash. The odds are that sometime in your lifetime, somebody in your family is going to be involved in a serious automobile accident too. But the good news is that you triple your chances of walking away from that accident if you're wearing your seatbelt. So do yourself a favor. Buckle up. The life you save might be your own.
Get an interest-free loan to open your IRA at CCNB. Yes, CCNB will loan you the money interest-free for 1 year to open your individual retirement account. And as a special bonus, you'll receive this free personal tax guide. Take a tax deduction now as you build retirement income. Get an interest-free loan to open your IRA at CCNB.
Your kind of bank, CCNB.
Kiski is down by 2 points. Petrarca has been their key weapon thus far. He has 8 points, all of those coming from the outside. And for Carlisle, Billy Owens has 8 points. So those two kids have done the bulk of the scoring. 16-14 is our score right now. Carlisle out in front. Just underway, second quarter. He's firing almost every time down the court. And what is his range, Tony Petrarca?
From the parking lot in, I believe. Anyhow, shot along the Carlisle bench there a moment ago.
Schaefer had the block by Hodge, but gotten right back by Adam Petrosky. He tried to feed it inside. It was kicked by Owens, Michael Owens.
First quarter stats, Kiski shot 7 of 15 from the floor for 47%. They got 6 rebounds, made 1 turnover. Carlisle was 7 of 13 for 54%. They made both their free throws, 5 rebounds, 3 turnovers.
7:23 left, first half.
Joe Woods been watching his teammates.
They put him up. Isaiah Jordan is called for the foul. And now in the bonus opportunity.
Carlisle first to the bonus. They have 2 fouls to give before Kiski will be shooting free throws. Carlisle leading by a hoop here. No surprises thus far in the ball game. Both teams doing basically what it was anticipated they would do.
Certainly that is the case. Tom Casey, Billy Owens is the force inside, and the guards have been tough for Kiski. And that's what we predicted from the outset. Coming into the basketball game, Ken Tardivo, number 13, and leaving, number 41. Isaiah Jordan, number 13, number 41. He's a 6-foot junior. He had a leg injury at the beginning of the year and was a projected starter. And now he comes in a substitution role. It's 18-14 now. The lead is up to 4 for Carlisle. Whistle as they try to get the basketball inside.
Kiski with pretty good player movement. You have to move the ball very well against that zone, and it seems like all 5 are doing it. They're not standing around. But obviously the job is to get the ball to the shooters, Petrarca and Petrosky.
That foul is on Blackburn. It's his first. Petrosky with the miss. Schaefer inside. Wysick comes up empty, but Tardivo is there on the boards.
And even after a made basket, Carlisle is shoving the ball up the floor so quickly.
Maybe in too much of a hurry that time, and they throw it away. That is the 5th turnover against Carlisle. 18-16. They still lead by 2.
Kickball at center court.
Ken Tardivo will throw it in from the side. Petrarca. Always looking for that jumper. Tardivo from the corner. Yeah. Kenny gets it down. 18-18. We're tied. Billy Owens.
He's smooth.
And Dave Levo calls out the defensive strategy. Petrarca.
He's smooth.
20-20. We're dead even. Sean Hodge. Did he fake him out? He almost did, but he also charged.
Got an offensive foul.
I guess he pushed off. I think he did. I think he faked him out at the same time. Sean Hodge is greased lightning. He is very, very quick. Saw him play here last year, and he put on a show. 20-20. 5:52 left, first quarter. They got some big kids that aren't afraid to pump it from way out either. And there's one of them. He hit it. That's Eric Schaefer. He's a center. He's a football player. He's not supposed to be shooting that far out.
I watched Kiski in warm-ups, and they shot very well. They square their bodies away. They have good releases, and they were filling it up regularly. It's a lot different in game conditions, obviously, but they seem to be pretty well schooled. Nice turnaround. Won't go down.
You notice Michael Owens will give up that open shot, which it appears on the left wing, to throw it inside. He's done that several times now. He seems to be open.
There's the foul that I believe puts Kiski into the bonus.
It does. Foul is on Billy Owens, and that's his first.
And at the tempo the ball game's being played, Roger, I think we probably will see a number of fouls tonight. It'll be interesting to see who gets them. There are some players that neither team would like to have to do without for any extended period.
Tardivo in and out. Mike Owens lost the handle.
The runner is out.
Good ball movement. And that's who they like to go to. He missed that one. Billy Owens misses the turnaround off the back of the iron. 4:48 to play. Second quarter. Petrosky tries the left wing and then gets it back out to Petrarca. Not much on the inside game, this Kiski team. As I mentioned, even their big kids come out. Petrarca. That's automatic. 24-20 now. Petrarca with the steal. And he slows it up. Tardivo looked to go baseline. He was guarded there. And then back outside to Eric Schaefer. The rebound to Owens, to Sean Hodge. Billy on the tip. 2-on-1. Tardivo. Petrosky, yes.
Sound the fire whistle.
26-20, and Kiski has come to play basketball.
Frantic action. 3:40 to go in the half.
2:40 to go, 3:40 to go in the half. 26-20. We got a good one. Kiski with a big surge, and they have a 6-point lead. We'll be right back. 6:20. Kiski leads Carlisle. We're in the second quarter. Sean Hodge. Blackburn with the tip. And he was fouled. Foul is on Schaefer. That is his first.
Kiski opened up man-to-man, but very quickly went to a zone. They got a couple of quick fouls on Joel Hansen, and it was obvious that Joel would probably not be able to handle Billy Owens, at least all by himself. Since then, since going into the zone, the game's been played very closely. Offensively, it's been showtime for Tony Petrarca for Kiski. 6 of 9 from the floor, 12 points. He's got a couple of rebounds. He knows where the iron is.
Billy Owens got the rebound and got it back outside. His teammates set it up. They get it inside to Owens, and about 4 or 5 dark jerseys surrounded him. And luckily, Carlisle hung on to the basketball. Cross court, wide open. Got to take that one. Mike Owens off the front of the rim.
Carlisle in a zone, but a very aggressive one. Nothing passive at all about the defense. They chase the ball around. And they get back to the offside very quickly. Most of the time before the ball rotates there.
Petrosky. Schaefer. And the foul is on Eric Schaefer. And that's a questionable call. It's Schaefer's... that's a foul on Wysick. I'm sorry, not Schaefer. Wysick. Dennis Wysick.
Was there not a Dennis Wysick in a state championship game, I guess more than a few years ago, playing for Ambridge? Went on to play at, I think, North Carolina and in the National Basketball Association. Yeah, we'll have all kinds of trivia fans calling in from all over the state saying, that was 19 so-and-so. I believe. I think it was spelled the same way as well.
All right, a 6-point game. It remains 26-20. 2:28 to play in the second quarter. Petrosky and Petrarca. When you talk about Kiski, those are the two guys you talk about. And the 3 guards right now, Tardivo involved, just playing catch out front. They got the lead and just want to be patient with it here at this point. And for the moment, Carlisle appears to let them do that. Now 1:48 left. Do they come out in a man and pressure a little bit?
No shot clock in high school basketball. If you regularly watch college or the pros, that is one difference. There is no three-point goal in high school ball, and they play 4 8-minute quarters. So the stall is perfectly legal. They must, however, make some sort of move inside the hash mark on the side of the floor within a 5-second count, or else there's a tie ball and the alternate possession rule takes over. Does that bring you up to date during all of this?
I don't think Kiski feels that they can keep up with Carlisle in that up-tempo fast game, and once they get the lead, they want to just hang on to the basketball, and that's what they're doing right now.
Some of their kids have had to work awfully hard. It gives them physically a little bit of a rest and shortens the game.
Well, I'm surprised that Carlisle isn't out there pressuring a little bit here.
Carlisle has played zone, but aggressive zone all the way. Now they're going to look to trap, maybe. No, cross-court pass beats it.
27 seconds left now in the first half.
Occasionally, a backline defender will bluff coming out, hoping to have the ball passed into the corner. Thus far, Kiski has not bit. Cavaliers are a good basketball team.
10 seconds, and now they must look to get a shot off before half. Tardivo.
Yes, he did.
3 seconds. And an offensive foul is called out here at center court against Carlisle. Foul is on Sean Hodge, number 23.
There's some happy folks from Western Pennsylvania cheering for the Kiski Cavaliers. For the record, the officials for the ball game are Tom Stabile and George Watts. The alternate is Jim Williamson.
And that's the end of the first half. So Kiski does a good job of holding on to the basketball. Tardivo cans it, and Carlisle, the defending state champs, go to the locker room down by 8 points, 28-20. We'll be right back. 28-20 is our halftime score. And Tom Casey, what's your impressions of the first half?
Nothing unusual. I'm impressed by the playing ability of the players. From a coaching standpoint, pretty much as everything was written up and analyzed, there's some minor tinkering with positioning on the floor and things like that. The tremendous ability of the players. The Kiski guards are everything that we heard. Adam Petrosky, and particularly Tony Petrarca. He's just a marvelous shooter.
Tremendous.
He's taking a tough man on defense. Kiski came out early and showed a man-to-man defense. They got out of that very quickly, picked up a couple of quick fouls, and it became obvious that the one fellow who was assigned to guard Billy Owens was not going to be able to do it by himself. There are very few people who can do that. Carlisle is stuck with their game plan. They push the ball up the floor. They've gotten fast break baskets after made field goals is how quickly they move the thing up the floor. Let's run down the team stats, then you can talk about some individuals, and then maybe we'll recap some of the things that have happened already at the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic Association State Championship Series, Friday and Saturday in Hershey. Look like this. Shooting field goal percentage, Kiski at 48%. They got down 14 of 29, and a lot of those field goals should have had stamps on them. They came from another zip code. Long-range bombers. These fellas know where the iron is. Carlisle hit 8 of 21 from the floor for 38%. Free throws, Kiski shot only to 1 and missed it. Carlisle 2 out of 3, 4 out of 6, really. Rebounding, as I said at the beginning of the game, Roger, Kiski has a lot of blocky type kids. You mentioned one player is a center on the football team. Denny Weissick's a big, broad-shouldered kid. They're not as tall as Carlisle or as great leapers, but rebounding is not necessarily a function of height and leaping ability. It's basically a function of position, getting in position to get the rebound. So they've done a good job and have an edge in that category the first half. Assists 5-4. Kiski leads it, and Carlisle has made numerous turnovers, 6 of them, and some of those have been unforced, and a lot of that is a function of the style of play, running the ball up and down the floor, taking the long passes, taking the chancy passes and things like that. So it's been pretty much as we talked about. It's Carlisle's energy, aggressiveness, experience, and team balance against Kiski's work ethic, I guess is the way you talk about it, from their inside game, and their great guard duo Petrarca and Petrosky. Talk about the individual scoring here.
And we'll start with Kiski. And why not start with the guy by the name of Petrarca? We'll be talking about him some more in the second half. 12 points. Petrosky has 4. Schaefer has 2. And Tardivo has 10 points in the basketball game. And one of his key field goals came right before the half. And I thought an excellent move by Kiski. They had the 6-point lead. They said, let's just slow down the tempo a little bit here, work for the last shot. And it always works when you can put the ball in the hoop after holding on to it for a couple of 3 minutes.
Well, holding the ball with a 6-point lead, the worst that can happen is you end up with no shot and you go home with 6, so they're lucky to go in with 8. So individually, it's pretty much, I don't know, the ball game, some things in life these days particularly don't live up to their hype. I think this one has. Some of the ball games at the PIAA championships did not live up to their hype. Let's be perfectly honest about it. Roger and I have been here, and a variety of you stations and cable companies along our network have been here for some of the ball games. This, of course, is the finale. The
Kiski leading Carlisle, and we knew coming in that Carlisle had a lot of balance, although in the first half, just 3 people involved in the scoring for them. Billy Owens, of course, leading the way with 10 points. Sean Hodge had 8, and Michael Owens had 2 points to complete the scoring for Carlisle, and Petrarca had 12 points in the basketball game for Kiski. I think more people in that Carlisle lineup must get involved in the scoring a little bit, and we'll see if Billy Owens can continue doing the job on the boards, although, as you said, Tom, those big, strong kids from Kiski have really been pounding the boards as well, and he's got a battle on his hands.
Yeah, Eric Schaefer had 5 rebounds. Billy and Mike Owens had 3 rebounds apiece for numbers fans in the first half. I think it is safe to say, as you mentioned, that Kiski has done a real good job. They were concerned about the offensive boards when we talked to them before the ball game, and Sam Idrieri said if we can hang with him on the boards, we can play with him. Well, certainly has. Kind of interesting that Kiski has not come out of the locker room from their halftime talk yet, and Carlisle just came out with 3.5 minutes left on the halftime clock. Some more numbers. If this seems like an exciting basketball game and you're just kind of half into it, one of the reasons there were 8 lead changes in the first half. The biggest margin that either team had is the halftime lead that Kiski Cavaliers enjoy, 8 points. Carlisle had 4 second chance points. That's shots missed that are followed up and put back in. And Carlisle and Kiski each had 4 of those. Kiski had 1 turnover point, and Carlisle threw the ball away, and they managed to convert it into a basket. So the team's warming up for the second half. Pretty soon that trophy will be going either an hour down the road to Carlisle or a long way down the road to Kiski over near Pittsburgh. We have lots and lots of high school basketball left, and talk with the PIAA executive director after the game. That's all coming up. Stay with us.
Then we'll crown the boys Quad A state champion tonight. Nice to have everybody with us, not only in Keystone Country, but many viewing throughout the state of Pennsylvania this evening. Kiski leading at the half, 28-20. And Tom, off the top of the show, we talked about the team that Kiski has and whether or not they deserve to maybe be here. You know, they lost 3 times this year to the Norwin Knights, and Norwin's out.
A lot of people said Norwin was the best in the West, but Norwin didn't get here, and Kiski did. Neither of these teams is invincible, as good as they are, Roger. They both lost 4 times during this season. But the crowd's enjoying the game. We are. We hope you are, too. And you mentioned our viewers in other parts of the state. If somebody can help out with that trivia question, there is a Dennis Weisick that plays for Kiski, and it triggered a memory, and maybe somebody can call one of our stations and let me know, was there not a Dennis Weisick that played for a Western team in one of these state championship games in the late 60s or early 70s? I think it was Ambridge. I'm not sure.
So I'm sure somebody out there listening tonight may know the answer to that, Tom.
You mentioned the word trivia, and somebody will call and take a guess at it. So we'll find out. Carlisle will get the ball to start the second half, and trailing by 8, they probably are going to want to try to set the tempo and control it, and they're probably going to want to try to do something reasonably quickly, too. Will Kiski, how big a lead will they get before they let the air out of the ball and stall and make Carlisle go into a man-to-man? We'll see.
Well, Kiski breaks huddle, and we're ready to go. You're looking at number 22, Paul Blackburn, inbounds the basketball to Sean Hodge. And we're underway. Owens, Sean Hodge. The miss. Owens with the tip. And Schaefer with a rebound.
2-3 zone, and the rebound comes to the football player with the best position.
The football player that can also shoot. Not quite as well as that guy, though. Petrarca.
I don't know if the Lone Ranger could shoot as well as that guy.
30-20, 10 points. How about Billy Owens off the back of the iron? Billy hustles after the ball, puts it up again, misses again. And now the break. Petrosky lost it. Adam Petrosky may have tried to do too much with it that time. Sean Hodge. Both teams putting it up. Not many have dropped except for the shot Petrarca scored on.
These are wonderful players, both teams.
I don't even have time to look down at my paper. Look up and you'd miss something. It's really, the tempo is fast and furious here in the third quarter. Adam Petrosky with the miss. And Hodge had the basketball and the whistle. And a foul will be called on number 13, Ken Tardivo.
I believe that's his third.
And that is exactly right. That is number 3 on Tardivo. We have Kiski is going about 7 deep. We have Carlisle going about 8 deep. So I guess their bench strength is about dead even. Paul Blackburn doesn't score much. Number 22, Jeff Lebo's replacement. Off the back of the iron. Rebound. High up in the air goes Michael Owens. Sean Hodge, he walked to the ball. And turnover number 7 of the ball game for the Thundering Herd. 6:12 to play third quarter, 30-20. Petrarca.
Oh, my.
See how high Billy Owens gets up. He was well over the rim, bringing that down. He's a 6'6" sophomore. Garrett Palmer. Palmer frees himself up down inside. 30-22 game. 5:44 to play third quarter. Tardivo called for the walk. Turnover number 4 for Kiski. Billy Owens.
Here comes the run. And the pressure.
30-24. Owens doing it all. He's got the steal. Faked the pass. Went in for the layup. And offensive foul is the call. For Billy Owens, that is his second personal foul.
Tony Petrarca stood in and took kind of a tough charge there. He was a little slow getting up. Let's see if he's banged up some.
Always admire the type of guys that'll stand in there and take the charge like that. Petrarca. His driving jump shot. He draws a foul and he'll shoot 2.
Goes right back to the basket and takes another foul.
Foul is on Blackburn, his third. His second personal foul. Team's third. And Tony Petrarca will go to the foul line in the basketball game for Petrarca. He has himself 14 points.
Tony talking things over with Sean Hodge's counterpart on the Carlisle team. I'm not sure whether their banter is good-natured or not.
Got a lucky roll there, 31-24. Attendance tonight, 7,191.
6,366 paid. How'd the rest get in?
Does that include us, Tom?
I think. You mean you didn't pay?
I had to pay. Sean Hodge wants the jumper, but finds heavy traffic. Shot is missed by Owens. Michael with the miss. 32-24, 4:45 left third quarter.
Kiski gets an awful lot of people around the rim when the ball goes up. They've rebounded very well.
Dennis Weissig and Eric Schaefer are huge. 55 and 53. Tardivo with his 12th point. 34-24. The lead goes back up to 10. Michael. That was Billy. Billy Owens. He'll go to the line. You know, we didn't mention this Tardivo kid. I don't know if he does this throughout the course of the year, but he's shooting very well. He has 12 points.
Playing a nice ball game. Picked up several fouls on defense, but he's played very aggressively. And Joel Hansen started the ball game for Kiski and picked up a couple of quick fouls trying to go man-to-man with Billy Owens, and has since then been out of the ball game.
Number 53, Schaefer for Kiski, has 7 rebounds. As Billy Owens makes the first. He'll have one more. Billy has 13 points. Dave Lebo signals out the defense for his club with 4:13 to play, third period.
Looks like a 1-3-1 zone this time. They keep mixing it up.
Petrarca misses. Billy Owens the rebound. Sean Hodge. Look how quick he is. Count the bucket. Tardivo picks up his 4th personal foul. Time to get him out.
And Sion Jordan will come in. Jordan's the fellow when we get a shot of him. There's Kenny Tardivo, and he'll have to sit down with that 4th personal foul. His replacement, Sion Jordan, has a very heavy leg brace on. He was injured playing football and has not been able to play a lot of basketball this season. He was slated to be a starter,
Yeah,
I guess,
he was
at the
indeed.
beginning of the year.
So at the line right now is Sean Hodge. And he's just a junior. He's the point guard of the club. 34-28. Timeout. We'll take a break. 3:38 to play, third period. 34-28. Going on right now between Petrarca and Billy Owens in the scoring department. Petrarca is 7 of 12, 16 points. Billy Owens has 5 of 14 for 13 points. So Billy Owens has taken a lot of shots. Both have. Schaefer. Busick tried to keep it alive, but the quickness of Sean Hodge prevails.
Sean Hodge gave him a in-your-face after that one, so I think the blood is not the most friendly between the two teams, and particularly between Sean Hodge and Tony Petrarca. Last couple of times up the floor offensively, I watched Tony Petrarca seem to slip, have trouble. I don't know if there's something, if the floor's slippery or something wrong with his shoe.
Fouls on Garrett Palmer, his second, as the lead is now just 4. It was 10 not long ago, and Carlisle has cut into that, making a run here. 3:27 to go in the third period, 34-30. To the line, number 53, Eric Schaefer.
When we signed on, Roger, I said a lot of people were discounting Kiski's rebounding because they give away a good bit of height. These football-type bodies are tough, though, and thus far Kiski has out-rebounded Carlisle 20-14. That would have been a nice free throw for Kiski to make.
It was a 2-shot foul, so he'll have one more. He made the second one. 35-30, 5-point lead for the Cavaliers. Kiski from Pittsburgh. Mike Owen doesn't shoot the ball much, or at least he hasn't tonight. Billy certainly has. Good rebound by Garrett Palmer. Sean Hodge. With the miss, Petrarca dribbles through traffic and back out to set things up. Jordan, number 41. Petrosky, number 23. Petrarca, number 21. And then the two big guys, Usyk and Schaefer. Petrarca with the miss. Hodge. He does the majority of the ball handling for Coach Dave Lebo, looking for his second state championship, second in a row, and a foul. Tony Petrarca, number 21, team's fourth and Tony's first. Ooh. Michael Owens missed the easy one there. Hodge. And a technical foul is going to be called on the Carlisle bench. Nobody was off the bench, but obviously somebody said something to the official, and I don't know whether it was Dave or the assistant.
Did not even see. I saw the call made right away, and all three of them sat back in disgust, so it doesn't really make any difference who made the remark. It's a two-shot technical on the bench.
And Schaefer will shoot the technical. 36-30. Technicals can either hurt you or help you. You know, sometimes a coach will get a technical foul to maybe fire up the club. I don't think that technical was designed to fire up the club. The club was fired up enough and making a run. 37-30, and Kiski will get the basketball.
I think that one was a slip of the lip. We're getting down to the 2-minute mark in the third period here, and neither team conceding much. Pretty even period thus far. And now they're going to make Carlisle come out and chase him a little bit.
And look who's back in the game. Tardivo is back in. He has 4 personal fouls. Jordan has gone to the bench. And they need that Tardivo kid in the game. He's been hot from the outside.
Oh,
Stolen
steal
by Sean Hodge, and a foul on Adam Petrosky. So Sean Hodge took it off the 6'2 senior guard from Kiski, and that is the second personal on Adam.
Pretty good foul, and I think we're in the 1-and-1. That will now be a shooting foul.
Sean Hodge will step up to the foul line, and in the basketball game for Hodge, he has 13 points. He is averaging 18 a game. (37-31), 6-point lead for Kiski. They led 26-20 at the half. They went up by as many as 10 here in the third period. Carlisle has made a run, then a technical foul against the Carlisle bench.
There's number 20, Michael Owens, who is also a football player. We talked about Kiski's football players. Michael's good enough that he is on his way to Syracuse on a football scholarship, so he will be an Orangeman next fall.
Minute 28 left, third period. Petrarca over Blackburn. It doesn't go, and I think Billy Owens is going to get nailed with that foul.
Billy almost got himself a tee, too. You didn't see it on your screen, but Billy had to toss the ball to official George Watts, and Billy put an awful lot of steam on the ball. The official stuck it on his hip and just glared at him for a bit. And I would say Billy probably should watch his step.
That is Billy's third.
Not a shooting foul, so Kiski will play the ball in their offensive zone.
They lead it by 5, 37-32. It looks like they're trying to be patient again. This is what they did in the first half. However, at that point, Carlisle was in a zone. They're now in a man. Foul is on Blackburn as Petrarca went up for the jumper. That is 3 on Blackburn.
Wherever you're watching the ball game tonight, you are in good company. There are a number of television stations around the state enjoying the Quad A high school finals. WTAJ-TV in Altoona, WJET-TV in Erie, WLYH in the Harrisburg area, WOLF, Wilkes-Barre-Scranton, WFMZ in Allentown, and TV3, New Kensington Cable TV, as Tony Petrarca sets down a free throw and has one more coming.
He made one of two, 38-32. 6 points is the lead for Kiski as we now are in the final minute of the third quarter.
Yes, he walked. Yes, he walked.
Yep. Turned it over. That is turnover.
Sean Hodge got a little nonchalant. Now he and Tony Petrarca are going to shove each other. Going to have a little shoving match. The officials break it up, and the fans express their thumbs down displeasure, depending which side of the floor they're sitting on.
Some substitutions coming into the basketball game. Is
Sean Hodge and Tony Petrarca have been playing little mind games, Roger, and I think the mind games then escalate to word games, and now somebody's thinking about making body games out of them, and I would hate to see that happen.
Things can get that way at a tight game.
They overload and clear one side of the floor. Oh, good steal.
There's the quickness of Hodge paying off. Owens, bucket will count.
A personal foul. Not
bucket will count. 38-34, and it could be a three-point swing for Mr. Sean Hodge.
Just a careless pass on Kiski's part. They just got too soft and kind of lobbed an easy pass instead of putting some mustard on it. And Sean Hodge got the steal and got it ahead to Michael Owens. And Michael will have the chance for the three-point play.
Sean Hodge is no doubt the quickest player on the court here tonight. 8 turnover points for Carlisle. 38-35. 30 seconds left. Third quarter. Quad A state championship. Petrarca to Petrosky.
And they've got Michael Owens out chasing Petrosky. And Michael at 6'6" is able to keep up with the shorter man.
The drive and a fadeaway drive jumper. No good. 4 seconds. Hodge at the buzzer. Will it count? Yes, it will. Sean Hodge at the buzzer. 38-37. Carlisle is within one of Kiski. Should be an exciting 8 minutes. We'll be back. Better than calling a good basketball game, and we've got that tonight. And for a viewer, there's nothing better than watching one.
Great ball game. Great momentum change for Carlisle in that period. And I think probably Kiski over there, and Coach Sam Idrieri is trying to calm them down a bit and trying to talk to them a little bit about their shot selection. I think Petrarca and Petrosky have carte blanche to shoot from wherever, whenever. But I think both kids exercised less than spectacular judgment a couple of times in that period. And we have a boy back into the ball game for Kiski who saw action earlier, but then sat out the entire second and third quarters. He's number 15, Joel Hansen. And a whistle.
Petrarca is fouled by Garrett Palmer, number 30.
Third quarter stats, Kiski cold, 2 of 9 from the floor. They did hit 6 of 7 from the free throw line. Running count on the rebounds, Kiski's ahead 21, but Carlisle has closed the gap with 19 rebounds. In that period, Carlisle shot considerably better, 6 of 15 from the floor and 5 of 6 from the free throw line.
That was the third personal foul on Garrett Palmer. Petrarca misses, and Billy Owens clears the boards for Carlisle. The Thundering Herd comes up, trailing by 1. It's been a long time since they've had to lead. Billy Owens was trying to give it to him, and Garrett Palmer will get his 4th. And we'll walk to the other end.
I wonder if Tony Petrarca might be a little bit tired. His shot seems a little more strained than it was earlier. Either tired or perhaps the games he's been playing with Sean Hodge may have broken his concentration a little bit.
Stepping up to the line is Schaefer.
This big guy's a good free throw shooter.
Billy Owens has 9 rebounds for Carlisle. Schaefer's got it. 39-37. Kiski is leading. 7 minutes and 32 seconds to play in the basketball game.
Fourth quarter of a state championship game, that basketball can get a little heavy. It'll be interesting to see who's going to be the tough one, who will take the shot that counts.
Schaefer was 2 for 2. It's 40-37. The lead is back up to 3. And number 15, Joel Hansen, tried to get around the screens and tried to get around Billy Owens and was charged with a foul. That's Joel Hansen's 3rd of the game.
There's Joel. Billy Owens shooting.
Two-point game, 40-38. Orlando Roebuck. How you like that for a name?
Good basketball name.
He replaces Garrett Palmer, who has 4. And Roebuck is the 6-foot senior forward, number 34.
All right, next time up the floor, let's see if Kiski goes at Orlando.
Billy Owens makes it 40-39, and Billy has 15 points tonight. Half-court trap applied by Carlisle, broken nicely with no problems by Kiski. And a timeout by Kiski. They want to talk it over with 7:03 to play. Their club is ahead by 1 point, 40-39. We'll be right back.
I used to think it was a nuisance to have to buckle up with a seatbelt, but I tried to make a habit of it, and I discovered after about a month it really was easy. In fact, today I'm downright uncomfortable if I don't buckle up. A couple of years ago, I was involved in a head-on crash, and a seatbelt saved my life. One can save your life, too. So get the habit. Triple the odds of walking away from a crash. Buckle up.
There are lots of new things going on in healthcare. And this new healthcare can be good if there's someone who really cares for you. That's why nearly 80 million people carry the Blue Cross and Blue Shield card. But this message isn't for those who do. It's for those who don't.
(40-39). Kiski leading by 1. Why do you suppose the timeout?
Carlisle's gone back to their zone. I'm not sure if that was the reason to set a new offense because there was a substitute player into the ball game.
Petrarca off the front of the iron, follows his own shot and gives back out to his counterpart, Petrosky, but he misses.
Kiski's cold.
Ha-ha, that's transition basketball at its finest. Mike Owens. Ed Carlisle leads 41-40. Inside, Schaefer can't hang on. Billy Owens. Hansen with the rebound, and Owens is going to pick up her foul. And that's number 4 on Billy. That's not good.
That was one that didn't need to be either. Billy was smart enough not to try to go on his back after the rebound, but then Billy reached in after Joel had rebounded the ball and got him on the wrist. That hurts. They're going to leave Billy in the game, apparently. Yeah. Still 6 minutes to play.
Find out if he's smart enough to play with 4. Got to keep his head out there.
I'm sure he is. Just a 10th grader, but a very mature player.
6 minutes to go. 41-40 thundering herd of Carlisle.
Box and one going for Carlisle now. They're playing four-man zone with Hanson chasing Billy Owens.
Well, the dump-in pass by Owens didn't work. Good defensive effort by Kiski. All right, now Garrett Palmer is coming back into the lineup, and they do take Billy Owens out of the game.
And Carlisle will come out to trap press again.
Petrosky has not had a good night from the field.
Both have cooled off. That young fella has. Ken Tardivo.
Yeah, Tardivo has picked up the slack a bit. 42-41. Kiski now leading. 5:22 to play.
Straight zone now. No more box and one that Owens is out of the ball game.
Blackburn. Garrett Palmer saves it. Michael Owens. Sean Hodge. Good hang time on that one. Doesn't get it to go. Last touch by Schaefer.
If they gave style points on that running jump shot, Sean Hodge would win. Boy, he hangs up there, twists his body and all sorts of contortions. Billy Owens comes right back in here.
And Orlando Roebuck goes out. Coming down the home stretch here. It will be an exciting finish with 4 minutes and 52 seconds left. Billy Owens, whistle and a foul before the shot.
Petrosky got the personal foul. Unhappy about it.
Petrosky at his 4th in the ball game, and he only has 4 points tonight. So he has not really been a factor in the scoring department. But his presence and ball handling out there is what counts.
Adam Petrosky is normally an 18-point-a-game scorer as well.
Carlisle now 12 of 15 from the foul line. Kiski is 8 of 13. It's a tie game at 42. Billy Owens looks to break the ice, but the team in the white kept it alive. Blackburn tried to get the pass into Billy Owens. He lost the handle. And Kiski will bring it up.
Just a gut reaction, Roger. I think some of the Kiski kids looking a little tired.
And I think the quickness of Carlisle could pay off here down the stretch. Yeah, a very quick team with Garrett Palmer and Sean Hodge and Mike Owens. Schaefer missed. Billy Owens. He's going to do it all himself. Dishes off to Hodge. Back out to Blackburn, and they'll set up a play. We're still tied at 42. Mike Owens hasn't hit that shot too many times tonight, but he got it down to go. 44-42. Petrosky.
There is a tired mistake. I think Adam's tired. Looking at Dennis Wysick, I think he's tired. I think Eric Schaefer's tired. I don't know if substitutes are available, but we're getting into a time of game where you got to have people in there who can do it. A mistake can be crucial.
7 turnovers against Kiski. And as Billy Owens tried to make his way over to the low post from one side of the floor to the other, Traka picked up his 2nd personal foul.
And
Owens will be at the line with 3:29 to play in the basketball game. 44-42. Carlisle has the lead. How do you think Kiski's tired, huh?
I do. I really do. At least a couple of their kids are, and I'm not sure what the coaching staff over there feels or if they have substitutes available. This is the time of game, given the score, you start thinking of I have to have in there in the last minute and a half. You start thinking ahead to things like who do I want handling the ball if the other team has to foul? Who do I want to foul on my opponent's team if we have to foul to get the ball back? So it is deep think time for the coaching staff, and I'm sure both benches are laying out some options at the moment. It's the scoreboard would indicate it only slightly, but it feels like a momentum swing in favor of Carlisle. You got some numbers to pass along here.
Yeah, Hodge has 17 points and 2 rebounds. Billy Owens has 16 points and 12 rebounds. Michael Owens, 9 points and 4 rebounds.
Take a glance over at that book and see how Tony Petrarca has done in the second half versus what he did in the first half. There's Tony. Good-looking young fella, heck of a basketball player. But Carlisle's quickness has managed to cool him off a bit in the second half.
Well, Petrarca is 1 of 6 from the field. He has 17 points, but 1 of 6 from the field here in the second half. So he is obviously cooled off quite a bit. And I agree with you. He's probably very tired right now. But only 3 minutes and 29 seconds to go, so we got to pull up the pants and go get him. 46-42, and it's a 4-point Carlisle lead. Been a great basketball game. And we hope you've enjoyed it.
Dangerous pass.
Schaefer. That amazes me. That big kid shoot from the corner like that.
Centers on football teams aren't supposed to do that. Good athlete.
46-44. He doesn't even hesitate. He just, if he's open, he shoots it. Owens spinning, turning, tip. That was Garrett Palmer. 48-44. Oh,
very nice
ball movement. Wow, nice play. Music, 48-46.
Take that to your press, huh? Boy, they got a lot of people around Billy Owens.
Petrarca, yeah, no foul.
And a jump ball called, so it will be Carlisle's ball.
Good job by Petrarca. Stripped it away and got all ball. Blackburn way out to Sean Hodge. 2 minutes and 22 seconds to play. Carlisle leads Kiski in the Quad A state championship by 2, 48-46.
Box and 1 defense, and Tony Petrarca trying to do everything tonight, handle the offense and now the defense as he's chasing Billy Owens in the box and 1. And he picked up a foul.
And that is Petrarca. And that is Petrarca's 3rd personal of the game. To the line will go Billy Owens. Two minutes and 4 seconds remaining. Billy Owens is 8 of 10 from the foul line. Pretty good foul shooter. Every time I say that, they miss. 8 of 11. Billy Owens from the line. 48-46, Carlisle. (49-46), Carlisle. A minute 58 to go. Schaefer.
Set it
That's
down.
2 in a row for Schaefer from the corner. 49-48, 1-point game. This is going to the wire. Missed by Blackburn. And with a minute 33 to go, Kiski has the ball and the lead, and they want to talk it over. We're going to update you on the timeout situation to see just how many each club has as we head into the final minute 28. All right, according to Charlie Fisher, Carlisle has 3 timeouts remaining. Kiski, they had 2. Now they are down to 1. That was a Kiski charge timeout. And this will be very crucial, too. The possession arrow points in the favor of Kiski. So that sets the stage with a minute 28 to go. A 1-point lead, 49-48. So Carlisle trying to win the state championship for the 2nd straight year.
Well, Kiski came in here and they said they were a guard-oriented team. They certainly are. Tony Petrarca doing everything. Scoring a great deal in the first half. He's been cooled off in the second half. And the latest move with Tony is they've made him the chaser in the box and one, trying to keep Billy Owen away from the basketball. I got to save something for offense. Each team will probably get another couple of buckets unless somebody goes into a deep freeze.
Minute 25 left. 49-48. Carlisle. Schaefer had a foul on Garrett Palmer, and that is it for Garrett. That's his 5th. Let's see how Garrett did as he leaves the basketball game. He had 4 points. And Orlando Roebuck would be his replacement. 8 rebounds, though. And that's his main role.
I was just going to say, not knowing that stat, that Garrett had his hand up around that rim almost every time a shot went up at either end. He plays very tall.
We'll have one more. 49-49. We're tied. We're dead even in the final minute and 11 seconds. Carlisle uses a timeout. They still have 2 remaining.
That's where you give the kids, you try not to give them too much to think about, but you give them instructions. In the event this happens, you do so-and-so. In the event that happens, you do so-and-so. If we make a basket, we go into this defense. If they make a basket, we do so-and-so. If we have to foul, we foul this guy. It is very interesting strategy, and like you say, Roger, we've played a lot of basketball here tonight, and it's like 0-0 all again, with the exception, I think, of the fatigue factor, and I still believe that a couple of the Kiski kids are tired. I guess replacements are not available. They're this close to the end of a state championship basketball game. I suppose there is something left inside that you just have to dredge up and put out. I'm sure that Carlisle's going to try to go to Billy Owens with the basketball and try to either get him a shot or get him at the free throw line. Kid's 6'6", 6'7". He is a marvelous free throw shooter. And I think Kiski offensively will continue to do what they have been doing. Try to get the shot from the free throw line extended. Or take the ball down into the corners for some of the fellows who have been sticking it up from there. Tardivo has not had a shot in some time.
And if they go to Billy Owens, and they probably will here, don't be surprised to see Sean Hodge set it up. Penetrating, maybe an outside shot for Billy. Right now he's posting up down low. Obviously, if he doesn't make the shot, maybe draw the foul, as you mentioned, Tom.
Still the box and one defense.
45 seconds.
Trying to set picks for Billy Owens as he goes back and forth across the middle. He finally gets the ball, but he has to come way out front to get it. There, he's coming in the middle, loose. But good help from Kiski. 28 seconds left. Going to call timeout again.
Okay. They're going to play it right down to the last shot.
We're
And
talking
there's Jeff.
nervous time. There's a fellow who's been in a couple of games like this. The young man in the gray stripes, vertical striped sweater is Jeff Lebo. Coach Dave Lebo's son, who was an all-state player for 2 years here in Pennsylvania, now such a fine freshman player at North Carolina. I knew Jeff was a good player, but when he went to North Carolina and contributed so much in his first season, it was a real surprise and a real credit to him.
And I asked him how well his father prepared him in the program that he played under for North Carolina. And he said one of the key reasons that he has done so well at North Carolina is because he's fundamentally sound, and he credited his father for that.
Of course, he had to say that or he wouldn't have a place to sleep tonight.
Guess so.
But no, just joking. It certainly is true. And you can tell that watching these Carlisle kids. There is a program in place where the kids in the 6th and 7th grades get this put into their program. In the 8th and 9th grades, and by the time they get to varsity ball, they're ready to play. And that's how you have a winning program. It helps if every so often a kid like Billy Owens comes along. That makes it nice to have a winning program, too. Tie ball game, not much time left. 26 seconds, as a matter of fact. The Thundering Herd owns the basketball.
And, of course, overtime is certainly a possibility. Blackburn with it out front. Back out to Mike Owens. 14 seconds. 10 seconds.
Man to man. Threw in the defense to cross him up. Billy got the ball.
Owens. Orlando Roebuck.
And that one hurts. Could be a three-pointer.
Whoever thought he would be the one to make the final shot. Everyone so concerned with Owens or Hodge, either one of the Owens, and they forgot about Orlando Roebuck.
Kiski trying to call timeout while you see the Carlisle players celebrate. And I think Carlisle's trying to call timeout now, too.
51-49, 5 seconds remaining. And Orlando Roebuck will go to the foul line to try to ice it and give Carlisle their second state championship in as many years. 2 years in a row for Carlisle if they can hang on for 5 more seconds.
Pretty good house here tonight. You saw shots of the crowd there. Over 7,000 total attendance. Carlisle, being the closest school, brought the most people, of course. They are also as vocal a group as you've heard in many a moon, and they're having a good time. So a defensive lapse on the man-to-man from Kiski. Carlisle being so anxious to try to help out on Billy Owens, and that allowed Orlando Roebuck to get open, score the hoop, a possible three-point play, and that may take that big gold basketball back to Carlisle High School for the second year in a row.
And you look down their roster. Hodge is a junior. Palmer's a junior. Owens is a junior. They got some kids coming back for next season. And Mike Owens, of course, is a senior. And they'll lose some kids. But Billy Owens is back, and he's a franchise.
I think Billy Owens is a sophomore.
Yeah, he is. Billy Owens is a sophomore. Mike Owens is the senior. Okay, now Carlisle keeps everybody back.
Orlando can put this one to bed.
But he missed. 4 seconds. Petrarca. Floater. 51-49.
The picture is sweet music. Let the music play.
That's tough.
And not so sweet music.
That is tough. What a great basketball game by both teams. It's so unfortunate there's got to be a loser in this one. The winner, and you're watching them celebrate right now. Carlisle High School.
And there's a huddle, and I'm sure thank you for a job well done for the Kiski Cavaliers. They provided so many thrills for their fans and followers, worked hard. Many said they didn't belong here. Many said they were not the best in the West. But they got here. Norwin did not, nor did anybody else. And Kiski certainly acquitted themselves well in a fine, fine basketball game.
51-49 is the final score. Carlisle over Kiski. We're right now working on the stats for you. And I'm sure Billy Owens had a big game. Looked like he finished up, 19 points. Sean Hodge had 17. Petrarca had 17.
That was not the most gentlemanly of basketball games. The players were exchanging a goodly amount of lip off and on throughout it. There were a couple of little shoving incidents. But at the end, the handshakes were very sportsmanlike. Everyone behaving gentlemanly. The two teams, I certainly hope, mutually respect each other. And I'm sure the members of the coaching staff do. Dave Lebo's done a tremendous job at Carlisle, and Sam Intrieri at Kiski turned out a great product this year.
I wonder if the victory by Carlisle tonight for Dave Lebo was as sweet as his first. We'll have to ask him, and we'll get him on camera a little bit later on for you. I'm sure it was. To win it twice, you win it the first time, you automatically want to come back and do it again.
And as you mentioned, with the underclass players he has, athletic directors all over the state are trying how to figure out how to get him off the schedule for a while, I think. At least till Billy Owens graduates. There have been a lot of high fives and high 20s and high 50s exchanged here. Pretty soon the PIAA will be presenting the medallions for each of the players on both teams. And then the major trophies is the young fellow from Kiski. Boy, rough night. Played a good ball game. But some got to win, some got to lose. Very difficult to say anything about this situation that's not a cliche. Why don't you look at those smiling faces, tell the story.
Orlando Roebuck with the winning hoop inside in the final couple of seconds to win it for Carlisle High School, their second.
Welcome to the late Saturday edition of Sports Weekend with Albie Oxenrider. I'm Doug Sivko. I wonder how many college presidents would be interested in hiring Dave Lebo as a head coach nowadays, since all of a sudden he comes over and pulls off the unheard of second straight state Quad A championship.
He's a hot property tonight.
I would think so.
As is Billy Owens, who has 2 years left. Carlisle wins it tonight. An impressive win, and I have to be impressed with the Carlisle fans who were they needed to bring it out of Carlisle tonight.
They were down by 10 points at some stretches. I had to leave early. Albie stayed till the end. They won it 51-49. Al, what was your impressions of the game beforehand?
Impressions of the game were Billy Owens seemed to be sleeping early in the game. I don't mean in a literal sense, but Billy Owens couldn't get it in gear. He finished with 19 points, 17 rebounds, and that is a key, but they did a great job of defending Billy Owens. Kiski was very well disciplined. They came to play, and despite the fact that the crowd was against them, they came out there and did what they had to do. Carlisle got the big buckets, though. They did not buckle, and the fact that they were there before helped them out, I think.
We were behind one of the baskets, and I noticed a lot of the on-court action, and especially Sean Hodge. He was really dribbling the ball pretty well, wasn't he?
Dribbling the ball well and getting them sparked. They needed his spark, and they won the game. Let's take a look at how. That's important.
Yeah, one other question. On their offensive end, they did a lot that they had to do down the end. They were down by 10 points in the second quarter.
Down by 10 points in the second quarter, and I think when Dave Lebo called a timeout at one point, the most important thing to me was what he told them. He said, go out there, play your game, get back in the game, get the buckets, and then we've been there before and we'll let the pressure take over. Kiski just buckled down at the end. Carlisle almost blew it, but they come away with the big win. And I'll tell you what, the only team in 25 years to win the top division, 2 straight years, and that's important.
Okay, then let's go ahead and see how, in fact, they went ahead and won at Hershey Park Arena tonight.
The stage was set at Hershey Park Arena. 7,100 fans on hand tonight, including the News 21 sports team, Trinity Star Rita Balaban, and North Carolina star Jeff Lebo, who flew in for the weekend to see the Herd go for 2 straight. At the start, Carlisle took control. This Michael Owens dunk gave them an 8-6 lead, but the momentum would shift to Kiski. They outscored Carlisle 14-4 in the second quarter, and they took an 8-point halftime lead at 28-20. Number 21, Tony Pacharka, who's headed for Duquesne next year, finished with a team-high 17. Sean Hodge scored the first Carlisle points of the second half, but it wasn't until this Michael Owens three-point play that the Herd was back in the game. With the dunk and the ensuing foul shot, the Herd had cut the lead to 38-35. Kiski did a good job of defending Billy Owens, but still, he came out with a team-high 19 points and 17 rebounds, and the Herd was back in business. Brother Michael Owens gave Carlisle their first lead since early in the second quarter with that layup, which made it 41-40. But the game stayed close the rest of the way, and the game winner came from 6-foot senior Orlando Roebuck, the Big O. This layup with 5 seconds left gave Carlisle the lead for good, and Kiski's attempt at the buzzer hit the rim as the Herd wins it 51-49, and with it, their second straight Quad A championship.
The first one will always be special in my heart, but I was really proud of our kids. They hung in there, and they didn't quit. They handled all the pressure that was placed upon them this year. Took everybody's best shot, and it was just a super way to finish a super season for a great bunch of kids.
A great game, and what about Orlando Roebuck? Who is this guy?
The Big O. He's a senior, 6 foot, and that's the biggest bucket of his career, I guarantee it. 29-4, Carlisle finishes up 2 straight. Billy Owens says there's more to come, so don't leave anywhere.
Great for them. They are.
Final score again, 51-49. It was Carlisle winning the Quad A basketball championship. As hard a fought struggle and as close a struggle as we saw in any of the 8 ball games while we were down here. We certainly have enjoyed it. We've enjoyed the pleasure of your company. Still much more. We ought to get a kind of a handle on how things went. And you are about to join our Roger Weiland, and a very happy young fella who for the second year in a row is the king of high school basketball. Here's Roger Weiland with Dave Lebo.
Tom Casey, I'm with winning coach Dave Lebo. We are live at the Hershey Arena. And, Coach, how does state title #2 in a row feel?
It feels awfully good. Just so proud of our kids. They hung in there. They got down a little bit tonight. And we beat a very, very good basketball team from Kiski. I thought this was a great high school game for the fans' perspective. And from a coaching perspective, we're just very, very excited about the win. And I'm excited for our players. And I'm proud that they didn't quit when they got down a little bit. And Kiski came out and shot the ball so very well. We had a little bit of trouble getting it in the basket, but as it turned out, we hung in there and were able to sneak back and win it.
I know you've been sick with the flu, and you've even missed a couple of practices here in the last couple of weeks, haven't you?
I haven't missed any practices, but I've missed school. I've been out with the flu, so this will help me recover.
Let me ask you about that final shot. Orlando Roebuck scoring down inside. Obviously, I don't think that was designed to go into him. Were you going to Billy Owens at that point?
Well, we were running our motion offense, and we told Billy we wanted to get the ball in Billy's hands, and when he got it, if he couldn't shoot it or couldn't take it, he was to look inside because he's such a great passer. And as it turned out, he hit the guy who was wide open, made the key bucket, and it was a big pass. But we were really going to him for the shot because he's really our bread and butter player.
In your opinion, what was the key in tonight's basketball game? Your club got down by 10 points in that third quarter.
I thought the key was we didn't panic, and we kept playing them tough defense, and they continued to shoot the ball from way outside. They started to miss them a little bit, and we started to get the rebound. Our pressure hurt them a little bit. Our full court zone press got us some easy baskets. So it was a combination of things, but we're just very lucky with this win tonight.
Okay, Dave, thanks very much for stopping in. Dave Lebo, the head coach at Carlisle High School. We want to get some of the players into Orlando. You come on in here, and here is the unsung hero of this basketball game, and congratulations on the win tonight. What was the call in the huddle? Were they going to you on that or what?
No, the play was to Billy. We were working the ball and trying to give Billy the last shot, but
I just happened to be there wide open because they went to double team, and he gave me a great pass. All the credit goes to Billy.
Did you see at that point, could you see this play developing where everybody was keying on Billy, and I'm going to sneak in here?
Yeah, I kind of just saw it, and I was just standing there waiting for him to shoot, and I was going to try to get the rebound, but he gave me the pass, and he saw I was open, and so I just did what came natural.
Were you here last year?
Yes, it was.
Is the feeling any different? Is it better, or is it just about the same?
It's better. It's better. I think we're the first team to repeat in about 30 years, and so that's great. There's nothing like it.
Hey, you know, we were talking on the broadcast that this is still a young Carlisle High School team. Other than you next year, you could be right back here again.
Oh, no, I'm a senior.
You're done.
I'm a senior.
I'm done. The other kids on
the
your
team,
club.
yeah. They'll be back. They'll be back, definitely.
Is a fitting ending to your career?
Yes, it is. I never expected it. It's great. I can't really describe it. It hasn't really hit me, but it'll probably hit me tomorrow.
All right, Orlando, congratulations, and good shot there at the end of the game to win it. And, of course, the final score being 51-39. And Dr. Warner joins us along with Tom Casey, and what a great way to finish it up here. A tremendous basketball game.
Fantastic. I had said before the game started, let's have it go right down to the wire. Someone was listening. Super.
Tom Casey?
I want to congratulate Dr. Runner on a real nice two-day event. I thought the tournament went exceptionally well.
Thank you very much. It was an excellent 2 days of high school basketball. Wish everyone could have saw it.
How about the season? You look back, was it a good year for the PIAA?
It was a good year, real good year. We had a lot of fine basketball throughout the state, a lot of close contests, a lot of kids playing basketball.
How about next year? I heard a public address announcement. They're getting ready to start the ball game. I heard the public address announcement say, get your tickets for next year. Are you kidding me?
Well, we have a lot of folks anymore that they want to buy them right after the last game. So we'll start selling them on November 24th for next year, and I'm sure there'll be a couple hundred people that want to get them on that day.
Dr. Warner, thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast. Okay. And a tremendous year by the PIAA. Dr. Warner, PIAA Executive Director, and Tom Casey, some final thoughts for you. You know, we have seen a lot of basketball in the last 2 days.
Yeah, I don't know, may have OD'd on it a little bit like that. There are a lot of things in all of our life and in the entertainment world, and sports is kind of entertainment, that never seem to live up to their hype. And there were a couple of games in the 2 days that we spent down here that did not live up to their hype. You can't say that about the last one. That was perhaps the perfect ending. We're very happy for all of you to be able to join us tonight, where this has not been done on a statewide basis for some time. I guess they tried it back in the 60s. I hope that it's something that can be an ongoing thing. And I hope if you were not a high school basketball fan before this weekend, got a chance to see a game or two, I hope you will become a high school basketball fan now. We are.
I think we have some other people to thank. You know, we had Dr. Warner on, and he certainly helped us out throughout our broadcast. You and I are on camera an awful lot. People see us, but they don't see the people that are behind the scenes. This was a tremendous undertaking by our television station.
Yeah, we got a lot of red eyes walking around, too. There were 8 games in 2 days. Like we said, that's an awful lot of basketball. But congratulations to the winners, and congratulations to the ones who did not come up. But getting here is the exciting part.
It has been a fun couple of days of live action coming your way on TV 10 Sports, and tonight it was the Quad A State Championship, and I guess you'd have to say, well, we can't ignore the Altoona-Lady Lions. That had to be the #1 game, but right behind that, I rank this as certainly the best one.
Obviously, it depends where you live. One of the nice things about high school basketball is that entire towns do kind of get excited and get involved. These are the kinds of things that will be replayed in conversation in taverns and gathering places for generations. You notice how often people sit back and talk about, well, remember the class of '58 and Billy missed that shot that would have won this, that, or the other thing. They make Broadway shows and movies called that championship season about high school basketball. So we're happy to be a part of it, and you had a chance to be a part of a little history tonight in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
And it's been fun working with you.
Yes, thank you very much. I have to see you back at work Monday.
I know.
Right?
Monday, back to work. I mean, this has been fun. Now we got to go back to work. Thank you for joining us. Thanks to all the stations that have been a part of this throughout the state of Pennsylvania. Carlisle, 51-49. They win the PIAA Quad A State Championship for the 2nd year in a row. For Tom Casey, I'm Roger Wadden. So long, everybody.
From the Hershey Arena in Hershey, Pennsylvania, this has been the Boys Quad A State Championship Basketball Game. Tonight's game was produced by Gateway Communications in association with WTAJ-TV Action Sports and the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic Association. Tonight's game was brought to you in part by the Seatbelt Task Force, who remind you to buckle up, drive safely, and arrive alive.
Quad A Championship Basketball has been brought to you locally on WLYH-TV 15 by Sticks Potato Chips, premium quality, handmade potato chips for 32 years. Farmers Trust Company of Carlisle, serving Cumberland and Perry counties. And by WHGB 1400 AM Harrisburg, the music of your life. The preceding has been a presentation of Gateway Communications.
Thundering Herd walked off the basketball court with yet another state crown. That makes 3 state championships in 3 years for Carlisle, and this latest one was surely the toughest of the 3 to nail down. John Reppitz was following the action all night. John?
Jim, I don't know how they managed to do it, but somehow Carlisle just came up with another victory. Carlisle entered the history books tonight. They became just the 3rd team in state history to win 3 consecutive state championships. The Herd won the Quad A title tonight with a big come-from-behind win over Meadville. Now, Carlisle trailed throughout most of this game, but here in the 4th quarter, Billy Owens put Carlisle ahead for the first time in the game, and they managed to hang on despite the shot at the buzzer by Meadville. Carlisle wins it 48-47. And Jim, coming up later, we'll have more highlights and some post-game comments from Coach Dave Lebo.
State championships, that's not too shabby a performance for high school basketball around here. Let's start with tonight first. Carlisle tying a record held by only 3 other teams in winning their 3rd straight state championship. And to say it couldn't have been done without Billy Owens would have been one of the biggest understatements of all time. Owens brought the Herd back from an 8-point halftime deficit with an 11-point 3rd quarter. Now, he scored with 2, 3, sometimes 4 Meadville defenders hanging on him. He finishes with 30 of Carlisle's 48 points and all but 7 of their points in the second half. A performance that was truly that of an All-American, and Billy agrees.
Yeah, because I had like 4 guys on me every time I touched the ball. And so, you know, I try to work without the ball so, you know, I get open, set it in there, pushing with them. So, I can say it was All-American performance.
Well, if you like drama, you would love what went on at Hershey tonight. Unbelievable.
The palms are still sweating. I mean, you just sit there. No way they could have won this game. You sit there, they're down 10 points in the 3rd quarter. You think, it's over, you know, nice 2-year reign.
Gamers,
they managed to pull it out again. Carlisle is just the 3rd team in state history to win 3 consecutive state championships. Tonight in Hershey, the Thundering Herd staged a gutty comeback to defeat Meadville. Carlisle trailed by as many as 10 points in the 3rd quarter, but came back to win it. The hero, who else? Billy Owens, the All-American, led the way with 30 points. Now, the Bulldogs came out and set the early pace. Mike Burnett slams it home on the alley-oop as Meadville took control early. Now, coming up here, Sean Hodge will miss. Meadville gets the rebound, but a steal. The pass to Billy Owens. He jams it home. Meadville led 14-12 after the 1st quarter. Mike Perro from Meadville will hit the difficult jump move into the hoop right there. Meadville led by 8 points at halftime. Early 4th quarter now. The alley-oop goes into Billy Owens. He put Carlisle back on top 38-37. Later on in the 4th quarter, Lee Woodall will get the ball underneath. He puts it up strong and scores. The Herd still led by 1, 44-43. Todd Ewell will then step to the foul line and make 2 big foul shots to open the lead up to 3 points. But Perro comes right back, and he hits the jumper to cut the lead to just 1 point again. Carlisle's now up 46-45, 9 seconds left. And Billy steps to the foul line, hits both ends of the 1-and-1 to make it 48-45. Meadville will hit this shot at the buzzer, but it wasn't enough as Carlisle wins it, their 3rd consecutive state title. The final was 48-47.
I'll tell you, we didn't have a lot of experience, and we started out on adversity, and we didn't win our league, and we didn't win the district, but we beat 4 real tough teams in District 1 and beat a real tough team here tonight. I don't think our high school basketball team has to prove anything to anybody. They're the state champions of Pennsylvania.
They looked like they was down, like it was all over with. That's where the thought was when we played Harrisburg, get down by Harrisburg, that they thought it was over with. But I knew that, you know, everybody was with us. All the fans was with us. They didn't let up, and so we couldn't let up.
Well, this was supposed to be Harrisburg's year and everything. they lost in the first round, and everybody was expecting Carlisle and Harrisburg to be in the Eastern Finals, and we were there. And where was Harrisburg?
Where was Harrisburg? Tough comment. Congratulations to Carlisle, their third straight Quad A title, and who knows, maybe number 4 will come.
Cagers as Carlisle takes their third straight state title. And not to be outdone, Columbia won a state championship of their own. The Crimson Tide rolled over Windber. And in the NC2As, Syracuse and Indiana will tangle for the national championship. Don't touch that dial. Sports Weekend is next. Welcome to the late Saturday edition of Sports Weekend, Central Pennsylvania's #1 sports program. I'm Kurt Gregory, and we are glad to have you with us tonight. The big story on Sports Weekend tonight, high school basketball and the Carlisle Thundering Herd. You know, 3 times proved to be a charm tonight for Coach Dave Lebo and his ball club as Carlisle claimed their third straight boys Quad A state title, downing Meadville in a real heart-stopper, 48-47. Now, the Herd in the white uniforms as we pick things up. Sean Hodge to Billy Owens, nothing but the net, and Carlisle jumps out to a 2-point lead in front of a pretty vocal crowd. Now watch Carlisle hit the offensive glass. Sean Hodge can't get it to go. Todd Ewell, nice feed to Owens. Yeah, Billy O had 30 points to lead everybody. Now, the Meadville Ball Club has a bunch of weapons. Mike Burnett, probably the biggest one. He had 15. Bulldogs by 8 at halftime. This one came down to free throws, my friends. 9 seconds to go. Billy Owens on the line, and the Parade All-American buries both ends of the 1-and-1. There it is. Now, a late bucket by Meadville cut it to 1 point with 1 second to go, but Carlisle comes back from behind for their third straight state title, the final, 48-47, Thundering Herd.
Pressure situation, and I've been through pressure situations through the whole season. So I just thought, let's go up here and make them, you know, because we deserve it. We deserve it.
I'm excited. I'm ecstatic for these kids. Boy, I tell you, this showed something in this kids tonight in this ball club. They didn't quit. We were down during the season. We didn't win any championships, but we won the big one.
Bet you did. There's the final. Carlisle over Meadville tonight by 1 point at 48-47. Lancaster Lebanon League powerhouse Columbia did Section 3 Hoopsters proud this afternoon. The Crimson Tide rolled over Windber, taking the state boys AA title in the process.